live and local, with coverage you can count on. This is WNEMTV5 News at 6.
The U.S.-Canada border will remain closed to non-essential travel for another 30 days in response to the coronavirus pandemic. The restrictions took effect on March 21st, while allowing trade and other travel deemed essential to continue. These restrictions will now be in effect until at least May 18th. Thank you for joining us. I'm Blake Keller. Jamie is on assignment tonight. Confirmed cases of COVID-19 in Michigan increased to over 30,000 today. Overnight, 768 new cases were reported, including 81 new deaths, bringing the death toll to 2,308. Genesee County remains a hot spot in mid-Michigan with more than 1,000 cases and 112 deaths. Saginaw with nearly 400 cases and 24 deaths. Bay County stands at 79 cases and 2 deaths, and Midland is at 43 cases with 2 deaths. As of yesterday, the state reports more than 3,200 people have recovered from COVID-19. Governors across the U.S. face tough choices about how quickly to loosen those restrictions in place to help curb the spread of coronavirus, balancing serious questions about the economy and public health. CBS's Danya Bacchus reports how some states are starting to relax their stay-at-home orders.
Large flag-waving crowds lined the streets of Brookfield, Wisconsin Saturday to protest the governor's extended stay-at-home order. The so-called Liberate Wisconsin protest and others in several U.S. cities called for a restarting of the nation's economy. This week, President Trump unveiled a 3-phase plan to reopen the country, leaving many of the details and decisions to governors. In his Friday coronavirus briefing, the president said he would like to resume large campaign events ahead of the November election.
I hope we're going to have rallies. I think they're going to be bigger than ever.
In New York State, where more than 235,000 people have tested positive for coronavirus, wearing a face covering in public is now mandatory when social distancing is not possible. Governor Andrew Cuomo says hospitalizations are still slowing, but warned that the state is still not in a good position.
We still have about 2,000 people yesterday who were new admissions to a hospital or new COVID diagnoses.
Boeing, which plans to restart some operations in Washington state in the days ahead, conducted its first COVID-19 transport mission. It flew a 737 jet from China with more than 500,000 medical-grade masks for healthcare workers in New Hampshire.
While some states are gradually easing certain social distancing restrictions, California is keeping them in place as it deals with its highest death toll yet.
Saturday night, Lady Gaga and a who's who of music legends hope to provide some relief in a global concert fundraiser, One World, Together at Home. Danya Bacchus, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Well, a new self-swab testing site for the coronavirus will open in mid-Michigan on Monday. In a partnership with the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Rite Aid will introduce 3 locations in Michigan, including the Swartz Creek location on Miller Road. The other 2 locations are in Macomb and Eaton Rapids. The test is administered in the parking lot and is overseen by a Rite Aid pharmacist. Eligible people are required to pre-register and schedule appointments on the company's website. And a Michigan prisoner who declined parole earlier this year has died from behind bars from COVID-19. Authorities say 60-year-old William Garrison died Monday at the Macomb Correctional Facility after serving nearly 44 years in prison. Garrison could have been released weeks ago, but decided to wait until September. That's when he would be eligible for a complete release without the rigors of parole. However, he changed his stance during the coronavirus outbreak and was waiting to see if prosecutors challenged the parole board's decision. Garrison was sentenced to life in prison at the age of 16 for killing a man in 1976. The sentence was reduced to 40 years in January. And a utility company is assisting Michigan families during the coronavirus pandemic. The Consumers Energy Foundation is providing more than 30 community foundations with a share of $300,000 in grants. The Food Bank Council of Michigan received $140,000 to produce 5,000 quarantine boxes for isolated and homebound seniors. Now, each box has a 7-day food supply, and Michigan State University will get a $100,000 grant to develop a process that uses commercial ovens to decontaminate personal protection masks. Well, more local news now. A Mid-Michigan church aiding their community, making sure families have food during this pandemic. Spring of Life Community Church providing meals and groceries, as well as services for the residents of Mayville. The church has ran the program for 12 years. Now, instead of hosting the giveaway on the third Saturday of every month, the church has since picked up the pace since the coronavirus crisis.
Decided as a church that we do it every week. So last week was the first of the every week, and we've been serving people as they come up in their car and giving them opportunities to hear from us and get some food.
Community members who frequent the service are thankful the program was extended now to a weekly basis.
There's a lot of people that are having hard times right now, and I think it's wonderful that they're doing God's work. And I appreciate it, and I know there's a lot more that appreciates it too.
Now those giveaways continue every Saturday beginning at noon. Well, sunny skies and warm temperatures throughout the day is making way for a clear night as we take a live look over mid-Michigan tonight. Meteorologist Chris Eastlick is in the First Warn 5 Weather Center today. He's tracking our forecast. Hey, Chris.
Hey, Blake. Weird to see you on this side of the clock. Both of us kind of out of schedule here, but a beautiful night, and looks like we'll have plenty of time to get outside after the newscast and maybe take a walk, because it looks like it's going to be a pleasant evening overall. Right now, we've got temperatures that are still in the 50s after this afternoon. We've got 55 in Saginaw and Bay City, 55 in Midland, and 55 in Flint. Some of the cooler areas found near the lakeshore and off to the north where Caseville and Houghton Lake, right around the low 50s. Now, these temperatures, of course, a lot warmer than we have been so far this week. Many spots between about 10 and 20 degrees warmer than just 24 hours ago. The only caveat today is we have a breezy southwesterly wind that's about 10 to 20 miles per hour and maybe even upwards of about 25. But everything dry. Your First Warn 5 pinpoint Doppler radar is crystal clear. There is a cold front that's off to our north that will eventually impact our weather as we head into tomorrow, but more on that later. Just enjoy the beautiful night ahead. We will gradually see clouds increase this evening, but we do stay dry through midnight. After midnight, it looks like a shower will be possible late this evening. We'll talk about the arrival time and what's in store for tomorrow. That's all coming up.
All right, Chris, thank you. New tonight, a Mid-Michigan teacher providing protection for frontline workers. TV5's Jonathan Jackson reports how she's using her expertise to help fight the spread of COVID-19.
So this is something that
with school closed.